Tony, I see two hands over here if you don't mind. Oh, three hands. We'll start with Esther since she's closest to the mic. We'll work our way around the room.
On the Medicare card, we got the cards last year and we gave them in. Does that apply to us or is it just for new residents?
Cindy, I'll let you answer that one since you are the Medicare queen when it comes to cards.
So when you get a new card, let's say you have an Advantage plan, an Aetna Advantage plan, we need that. If you've already given us your new Medicare card with the Medicare number, we don't need that again. But as long as you've got them both out, you could just, if you don't remember whether or not you gave it to us, it would be great if you just had them both copied at the front desk. Thank you, Esther.
Right. So put another way, we'd rather have them twice than not at all. Okay? No, we're going to let Tony hold. That way we're keeping everybody safe. Go ahead, Ted.
What were the overall results of the testing of residents of the last test that was made?
Great question. So as you know, on December 2nd, which was almost 10 days ago at this point, we offered all of our residents in independent living an opportunity to have a COVID-19 test here on site. About 50% of our independent living residents took advantage of that opportunity. So a little over 100 residents, because we have a little over 200 when you add couples in and everything like that. So it was a little over 100 folks took advantage of that opportunity. And I'm very pleased to report, Ben, that zero residents tested positive for COVID-19. So that's good work done by all. So thank you for reminding me to mention that today. I appreciate it. All right, we got another question up here, it looks like. It doesn't matter. It's okay if it's up.
First of all, a comment. I think there is really hope for the future. We now have the therapeutics to deal with it in the case someone gets ill. And if you listen carefully, the rate of transmission is going up. The discharges are quite high, and also the people on respirators are not in any way comparable to 6 months ago. And last but not least, we have the vaccine. So I do think there's hope for the future.
I do too.
Okay. And my second comment is that my apartment overlooks a parking lot. I have observed people who are obviously not living here coming into that door. Can I assume that those are relatives of people who are moving in? And second, and last but not least, this may be a rumor because I've heard it, that some people who have AIDS, that the nursing assistants have keys to the doors that border on the parking lots. I think that should be absolutely forbidden. If you have a health aide, she should be able to come through the front and go through the whole protocol because she's on the outside and she puts us in danger. Thank you.
Thanks, Betty. So to that point, you heard us review earlier. It is our expectation that everyone come in and out through the main entrance. That includes residents, that includes family members, that includes private duty aides, that includes staff members, okay? Now that being said, I don't have an armed guard at each and every door here at Monroe Village, so there is somewhat of an honor system that goes along with that. I would offer you this. If you observe that, Betty, I would suggest that you call the concierge desk, let us know what you've observed, where it was, and then we can follow up. Because we certainly don't want to put anyone potentially in harm's way. So we continue to reiterate the rules to everyone. I think they're pretty simple rules. I think they're pretty fair rules. I don't think that we're asking too much of anyone, especially when we're talking about what we need to do to keep everyone safe. So if you observe anything like that, please let us know. Call the concierge desk and then we can investigate. So thank you. Marlene. Tony will hold the mic for you.
Keep your mask on.
Yeah, it's probably better if you actually keep the mask up, yeah.
Are only family members allowed to visit or can a friend come in and visit?
Okay, as far as visitors at independent living, it is not restricted to just family members. Okay, it can be friends, but anyone who comes to visit has to go through the protocol that we just described. They go through the front door, they get their temperature checked, they fill out the questionnaire and the risk assessment, and then they're directed to your apartment. And that person, visitor, whoever it may be, should be going directly from the concierge desk after they've completed the check-in process directly to your apartment, and they should remain in your apartment with you until their visit is over, and then they exit the same way back through the front door, so that way we have tracking that we know somebody came in and we know somebody left. I think it's pretty simple. So yes, you can, to answer your question, Marlon, yes, you may have guests that are not family.
Good.
But you can't have a big party with, raging hundreds in your apartment, okay?
I thought I could. How about children? Are
Children?
they allowed in?
Children are allowed in. Again, what I advise all of you and your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren is make sure you're being smart about the decisions that you're making. But children are not restricted at this time. Okay? But again, please be smart about the decisions that you're making, because what we're seeing out there, okay, and I have kids that are in high school. I have nieces and nephews that are a little younger than that. And, there are quite a few cases out there amongst the kids. The kids are fine. They're asymptomatic. They're healthy. I will be honest, I believe the schools are doing, at least in my personal experience or our family's experience and that of my sister and her husband and their 3 kids, are doing a very good job at keeping all the kids safe in school. I've heard similar about how they're handling it here locally, but we've seen that the kids can be the carriers. And I'm just reminding all of you of that. Again, it stinks, and I don't know what the right answer is, but I'm just asking you to be smart about the decisions you make, I guess is what I'm saying. So,
Okay. First of all, I have to thank the people here, the staff here at Monroe Village. I think you're doing a fantastic job.
thank you.
We're just coming on a year here, and I think we probably could not have moved here at a better time. And
Thank you.
I think everything is fantastic. Second point is, as far as we having guests coming in, we don't have very many, but they always come in the front door and out the front door again. But as far as residents are concerned, I think it's probably unrealistic to expect us to come in the front door and out the front door, because our cars are parked in the back, and especially if we go shopping or something like that.
Right.
But,
Yep.
but we do our best to follow the rules as best we can.
And I appreciate that. And yeah, with residents, it's definitely a little trickier. You're right, Julie. I know that some people go for walks in the morning and they might pop out their door and pop back in. And especially if you have a first floor apartment, you might come right in and out of your own door. We just ask that everybody be mindful. I think that visitors and guests and that kind of stuff, I think that's an absolute, that's what we want. And I think everybody can understand the necessity of that. Residents, yeah, it's a little bit trickier. And no, we're not going to post guards, and we're not going to be, beating down people's doors, to be candid. But I guess I just ask everybody to be mindful, be thoughtful, and it sounds like that's what most of our residents are doing, and I have no doubt will continue to do. So, thank you.
Thank you.
If family members want to visit and they're from out of state, is there any other rules or regulations?
All right, so for quite some time, out of state there was a list. If you were from this state, you couldn't come you had to quarantine for 14 days, and then all of a sudden New Jersey ended up on its own list. So then things changed. So pretty much what the state is suggesting at this point is that there should not, and this is not just New Jersey, there should not be travel between states unless it is for business purposes, emergency purposes, that sort of thing. So for example, like if you live in Pennsylvania and work in New Jersey or vice versa, that kind of travel is permitted. But they are really suggesting that any other kind of travel in and out of state should be avoided. The hard and fast 14-day quarantine anymore seems to have kind of gone by the wayside. We are going to continue to follow the guidance of the state and federal government with that. So it's kind of a non-answer for you, Barry. I'm not going to hold people back, but again, I'm asking people to be smart about what they do and where they've been. International travel becomes a whole other kettle of fish. Okay, and that's even harder, and we've worked with some people on individual situations about that. But I would, again, I guess if you were to ask my opinion, I would discourage out-of-state visitation. And I know that stinks. I get it. It stinks.
One thing I've been thinking about is the parking lots. The parking lots are from hunger. I will not walk on that little pathway that you give. I walk into the street because I'm afraid of falling. And I'm here 3 years, and you've been saying something about fixing them, and when?
Well, we have money budgeted in the 2021 capital budget to do some enhancements to the walkways. I think we've recognized this year more than ever that folks want and need to be outdoors. I think we've rediscovered some of the beauty on our campus, and in doing so, we've also rediscovered some of the shortcomings of getting to the beauty on our campus. So come springtime, we do have some dollars budgeted and anticipate doing some work on the walking paths in the various courtyards and areas like that. Do I think we're going to replace everything? No. But we are going to take an assessment of everything and start at the areas that we believe are either A, the most traveled, or B, present the most danger, if there is any, for folks. So, yes. All right, looks like Marlene has one more. Marlene, raise your hand again. Thank you.
You've got one more after this.
All right, one more after that one.
I think unfortunately you answered my question. My son from Virginia cannot stay over.
No, there's no staying. No, I would not suggest staying over. No, I'm sorry. Not in the building.
Well, I'm glad when the weather was nice, he came back and forth in one day.
Right.
But and it was very nice. I got food from the bistro.
Yep.
But I don't think he's going to come with. So in other words, no.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wouldn't at this time.
Thank you.
But hopefully soon. I really believe we're on the cusp of getting better versus getting worse. We just need to persevere a little bit longer.
Okay, Tony. Just to be funny, and it wasn't funny, he got out of the car and looked at me and said, "Oh my God, you look all right." we FaceTimed.
Right, it's not like he hasn't seen you. I know you've been...
Yeah, the hair turned gray. I said, "My God, you look good." I don't look good on FaceTime.
I guess the camera isn't doing you any favors, Marlene. I don't know.
Well, FaceTime to look awful.
Do maids change their gloves when they go to a different apartment?
Do maids change their gloves? Yes, people are changing gloves in and out of every situation. Absolutely, Tony.
Thank you.
All right. So we've been at it for about an hour and 40 minutes, which is all good stuff, I hope. We always want to be able to share information with folks, and I greatly appreciate those of you who are in the audience today for being here, for asking questions on behalf of yourselves and your fellow residents. It's great to have this kind of exchange and dialogue again. It is really, in my mind, crucial and important that we have ongoing communication and dialogue and feedback like we have today. Now, for those of you who were unable to join us, who are watching on one of the recordings, you do see on your screen, we still have the opportunity for you to ask questions and provide feedback. Please, please, please call or email Gina DePiero, the woman who needs no introduction. She can be reached at extension 6413, or you can email her at gdipiero, DIPIERRO, at springpointsl.org. She will then take your question or comment and get it to the right person, get the feedback you need, and then get it back to you, okay? In addition to that, If you would like a copy of the slides from today's meeting, the stuff that's been up on the screen, Gina can provide that to you as well. A lot of good information on those slides, and you might want to have the time to review it in more detail if you wish. Gina is the person that can help you with that. So with that being said, we are drawing to a close our town hall meetings for 2020. Good riddance. That's all I can say to 2020. And here is to a far brighter and far more wonderful 2021. Thank you all. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Please take the time to find the joy in this holiday season, even though it may not be shining as brightly as we normally like it to. But trust me, it is there. We do have joy in our lives, and we will have much more joy in the coming year. Thank you all. Be safe. Be well. God bless.